You're tuned in to BS with Joe, the podcast where common sense still makes sense. We break down the news, the culture, and the crazy, one blunt conversation at a time. Buckle up. This is going to be good.
Of the rant.
The rant, yes. Privilege Unpacked. Hi, welcome to back. In our last episode, we defined privilege and looked at the meaning of how the word has shifted. Today, we're digging into some of the rawest emotions that led to it.
Yep.
Resentment.
Yes.
So, the resentment is not new.
Mm-mm.
In fact, it goes back centuries.
Oh, yeah.
The idea that some people are worthy of help and others are just taking advantage. That's split. It's deserving versus undeserving.
Mm-hmm.
In all shapes of arguments today.
Oh, yeah.
So
I kind of feel like I'm always going back to school when I was a kid on this topic. Because, kids beat up kids because they wore, Air Jordans. Or had, something really cool that they wanted. They would get beaten up for it. And it would be taken from them.
Or you'd get beaten up because you wore Huskies to school.
Yeah.
You know, your parents couldn't afford Levi's, so you got the cheap ones from Sears. And you got
So
beaten
you'd
up
get beaten up
just because you didn't have money.
Yeah, by the bully.
Yeah.
The bully looks at you as a target. Oh, this guy's easy to beat up. Nobody's going to complain about me beating him up.
Can you remember relatives of yours talking about welfare queens or handouts?
I don't, actually.
No, okay.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't.
Right.
But...
Well, how much of that do you think was about money? Or was it just about morality?
Well, and that's the thing, is my perception of a lot of things are going economically is just like that rant. I feel just like that guy did in that rant.
Right. We feel that way, but the data shows that that's not reality.
But at the same time, you look at everything, and this is why I think everybody feels this way, is because we're hardworking Americans. We're pulling this cart, and the cart is getting unbearable because we see our government spending into infinity, and we're like, how do we stop our government from spending? Oh, we got to stop this welfare. We got to stop this. We got to stop that. And these people are needing these assistance, but at the same time, I've seen a lot of people talk about how, and I know this is going off this episode,
it's okay.
But I've seen a lot of people on TikTok and X talking about how Section 8 housing, people have been on it for more than 2 years.
They have.
And you shouldn't be on it longer than 2 years. By that time, you should have a stable job, a stable income to not have to be on it. And if there's so many people that have Section 8 housing, and I know there's developers that have buildings just for Section 8 housing.
True. All right, so let's get into the psychology of resentment.
Yeah, but the resentment, that's why we're getting into the resentment.
It is.
That's why I'm stating this, because we're resenting the fact that we're having to do all this hard work, and there's people that are purposely getting people put on Section 8 housing just so they don't have to work so hard.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Resentment, the psychologists say resentment comes from comparisons. Okay, it's not what you have. It's whether I think you're getting something I'm not.
Yep.
So when people believe they've worked hard for what they have and somebody else is getting it for free, like they're cheating the system.
Mm-hmm.
This is resentment.
Yeah. And there are people that cheat the system. And there are people who need the assistance. I want people to get help when help is needed, but whenever the cup comes overfloweth,
well,
we're all
let me
in
ask
trouble.
you that. Do you think the resentment is really about money, or is it about fairness?
It's both. Everything boils down to money. Now, who gets it? It should be distributed fairly. Well, what is fairly?
No, we can't be socialists now.
Yeah, you're right. We can't be socialists.
So distributing it fairly is not going to happen.
No, but that's the thing is we're resenting it because we don't get that assistance and we feel like we need it.
So here's where it gets sticky.
resentment and easy to weaponize.
Oh, yeah. And that's what's happening right now.
Yeah. So politicians on both sides have used it to rally support, from the poor laws of the the poor laws of the 1800s, to Reagan talking about warfare queens, to today's outrage cycles.
Yeah.
Resentment is a rallying cry. It is emotional fuel.
It is emotional fuel.
So is resentment a stronger motivator than hope?
I don't know.
It certainly gets people out of their chairs.
It does. Well, it's why CNN is so successful with talking about Trump, because people hate him.
Yeah.
And so they get views, TDS.
Yeah.
So with resentment, you're going to get that response.
Yeah. So
and
today,
you're going to lose hope.
Today, resentment bears a lot of faces, okay? It comes up in arguments about taxes, social programs, even student loan forgiveness.
Yeah.
So
because those who didn't get student loans,
right?
I
paid for my college. I didn't take out a loan.
Yeah,
You're gonna get it for free.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's resentment.
That is resentment.
And resentment is tied to privilege.
It is. So we're privileged to be able to, be angry.
So is it
possible?
Is it possible to design programs that help people without triggering resentment?
See, that's sticky. That's the rub.
Yeah.
And that's the thing
Or is it just that resentment is baked into the human psyche?
It's baked into the human psyche. Absolutely. Well, you look at dogs. One dog has a bone, the other one doesn't have a bone. They resent the other dog.
They do.
They fight. It's animal instinct.
Yep.
So there is resentment, but how do you prevent the resentment from growing into anger and rage?
I don't know.
Well, that's where strong men will go, I have to accept that and move on and focus on yourself and what you could do for yourself and the people around you that you care about.
We have a whole episode coming up about strong men and where'd they go.
Well, and that's it. Accepting the resentment and
Yeah.
not falling into the anger and rage.
So the resentment factor isn't just noise. It's actually baked into history. It's baked into politics, in psychology, and what it explains what conversations about privilege and assistance are so heated. Mm-hmm. It's not always about the money. It's about fairness. It's about who plays by the rules.
Well, and money too.
It's not always only about money.
No, and that's the thing is it all comes down to feelings and emotions.
Yes.
The left has all these feelings and emotions.
So does the right.
And so does the right. And it's bleeding over more to the right. But that's where we need to be strong.
Yep. All right. So in the next episode, we're going to talk about the optics. Why sneakers, iPhones, and Beats headphones spark so much outrage.
Yep.